right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition of the Passion for Pro Wrestling, baby. This is Brother Martin with my logo over me. But you know what? I'm here now. We're here to have fun, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a super exciting Smackdown. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are your source for post Smackdown breakdown, I guess you could say. We are here to cover three big stories within the professional wrestling industry, and we're here to top it off just like a cherry, if you will, with a fun watch along. And I just want to say, this week, like the poll that we put out, it was the second episode of ECW on Sci-Fi. We had the post, we had the debut episode of the NXT brand when it officially became the third brand, like with Bo Dallas and all that stuff. We had the debut episode of that. We had Velocity, if you will. And you know what? The NXT won out. So, ladies and gentlemen, NXT is the one that won. So, like, we're gonna be watching we're watching some NXT tonight, if you will. But you know what? We got some business to take care of. That's right, baby. We got business to take care of. We got places to go and people to see. And you know what? I'm excited to have every single person here. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. And which I know that I'm speaking for John, I'm speaking for Richie, and I'm speaking for myself, if you will. And, you know, I just want to say that we couldn't do what we do if it wasn't for you guys. And like our main thing here on the Retro Wrestling Revival is that we are for fans, by fans, and flat out, we wouldn't have what we have if it wasn't for you guys. You guys are the ones that have helped us monetize this page. You guys are the ones that have over 23,000 followers that have helped us. You guys are the ones that have helped us get on radio. Flat out, we cannot say thank you enough to the men and women that have supported us, because ultimately we're not experts. We never claimed we were experts. We're just here to have fun and share our passion for pro wrestling. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? With every single thing that we are given, we love to give back. And by giving back, we want to give back. We want to give you guys like a great deal right now. And if you want to go to a fantastic website that's a big supporter of the Retro Wrestling Revival, please, if you will, go to epicshirts.ca. Epicshirts.ca, ladies and gentlemen. They have all kinds of shirts. They have stuff when it comes to sports entertainment. They have stuff when it comes to politics, cartoons, you name it. They have every single thing that will tickle your fancy, ladies and gentlemen. So please go to epicshirts.ca, and if you put in the code, that's right, baby, it's the code. If you put in the code RW Revival, your complete order will be 10% off. And not only will you be helping us out, but you'll be helping them out. And you know what? Because just like us being the little engine that could, they are the same. They're not a massive business by any stretch, but you know what? Like, they're getting there. They have a phenomenal product, and we want to put them out there. So please go to epicshirts.ca, and like I said, guys, RW Revival for 10% off your whole order. And that's the way it is, baby. That's the way it is. We do a little bit of housekeeping, if you will. So, Mr. Jeremy, brother, I thank you so much for coming on the stream, if you will, man. I love you. I hope you're doing well. And, you know, speaking of individuals that have helped us when it comes like to building up this brand, Jeremy is a big example of that. And with his love, with his support, and you know what? Someone else too, Daniel. I have to say, when it comes to like our top fans, we got Jeremy and Daniel, and you know what? I gotta say this right now. It's crazy to think that I'm given the opportunity to have fun, hang out with my friends, and talk about wrestling. So you know what? I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I can't complain. And you know what? We're gonna do the SmackDown review, ladies and gentlemen. Let me guys, let me know out there. Did you watch SmackDown? And if so, what was your favorite part? What did you think about it? And did you think that it was worth your time? That's the thing, guys. There's so much wrestling content out there, and like there's so little time. Like we are completely what's the word? We are completely saturated with wrestling. So the thing is it's kind of like Baskin Robbins. We have so many flavors that we could choose from. So did you guys choose SmackDown tonight as one of your flavors? And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're going to do what we do. And okay, so like we started off the show with the arrival of the bloodline in the Street Profits, if you will. All right, so Mr. Daniel, he said that I haven't been watching the league, but read some of the results. Okay, that seems like a lot of people lately. Like they are reading the results, they are watching clips on social media, and like the thing is that you have like a bunch of old timers that keep saying, "Oh, ratings, ratings, ratings," what like with television, but they don't seem to understand. I hate to say it. I mean, yes, we will always have TV without a shadow of a doubt, but when it comes to the advancements, whenever it comes to like the way like we take in content, it has evolved so greatly that you have different avenues in which you can measure success of a show. So when it comes to SmackDown, like there's some people that are saying, how in the world is it so hot if there's only 2.5 million people per week watching it, when back in the Attitude Era you had 4 or 5 million people per week? This is the thing, guys, is that back then you didn't have Twitter, you didn't have Facebook, you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have all that stuff. So if you were to measure out like the TV ratings with the way that us modern fans watch it through those other avenues, I guarantee you that it is equal, if not more, than what it was like the television ratings. So I believe it when they say the WWE is hotter than it's ever been. I believe it 1,000%. Dusty Rhodes went to bask in some of the Sapphire's Robins, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, sweet Sapphire. You talk about darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Ooh, hot mama. How you doing? All right, here we go. I was disappointed that they did the fake retirement with AJ. It's been done too many times already. Oh, Jeremy, I agree 1,000%. And speaking of that, I was going down a Mark Henry rabbit hole the other day because, as you guys know that that I'm a huge mark for Busted Open Radio. So I love to listen to Mark Henry, Dave LaGreca, Mr. Tommy Dreamer, Bully Ray with like his Wednesday night Dynamite breakdown. And Mark Henry said that his contract with AEW is up. So like that got me going down like a rabbit hole, like in YouTube. And one of you know what, the greatest promo that Mark Henry ever gave was the one whenever he was doing his retirement. And John Cena, he came into the ring like to pay like his respects. Mark Henry was wearing like that giant salmon colored jacket. And then suddenly he had the whole crowd hooked, including yours truly. And then next thing you know, he goes in like to shake and hug John Cena's hand. Then boom, he hits the world's strongest slam. And that set up their match for Money in the Bank that year. I believe it was 2013 or something. I forgot the year. But you talk about great storytelling. I would say, once again, the retirement angle, I believe it's done way too much. But I do believe when it's done right, it is chef's kiss. And Mark Henry is the best example of that. All right, so we have with Rhea, Seth, and Roman gone. I just don't have any interest right now within the WWE. I hope I hope they do great things, but Dirty Dom is all you want to keep up with. Honestly, the stuff with Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan right now, it's fascinating. I gotta say this right now. I'm not a fan of Liv Morgan at all. I think she's a horrible wrestler. But I don't know if if I like what's going on with her right now because it involves Dirty Dom, but the fact is that the storyline with her and Dom, it's actually fascinating to me. And I'm excited to see where it goes when it comes to Mommy coming back. When Rhea comes back, is she gonna clean house? Will she take her man back, or will she kick him to the curb saying, "Bitch, you can have him"? I think it's going to be Rhea and Liv at SummerSlam, and I think that it's going to be an awesome match. I think Rhea's going to take her title back. With Becky right now, her contract is up, so I mean it's going to be interesting to see, will Becky resign. I personally think that Becky, she's a lifer. I think that she will return, but I think she's taking a break at the moment because she wants to be a mom. Okay, here we go. You're a huge Mark Henry. I love it. I love it, Daniel. I love it. Okay, here we go. I think his best promo was with Sammy backstage on Raw. Oh, see, Jesus, he's got a penis. Oh my God. Yes, the transvestite promo that Russo wrote for Mark Henry. Yes, that was hilarious. I mean, you just got to give Russo a hand on that one. I'm just saying, awesome promo. All right, here we go. Which I think Rhea, she comes back, and it's the setup with Rhea and Dom. Rhea is way too smart to not know what Liv is doing. I agree 1,000% because Liv, she's trying to destroy every single thing within Rhea's life. She's trying to take down the Judgment Day. She's trying to take Rhea's man. I mean, and the thing is that Dom, he has experience in prison, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, he has experience with being somebody's bitch. So, I mean, he was clearly Rhea's bitch. Now is he a Liv's bitch? All right, here we go. Becky, Gable, Natalya, and Ricochet all will resign, in my opinion, just to get your bag. I agree 1,000%. I would have to say the only one that would have the chance of leaving would be Ricochet. But I think Ricochet is smart enough to realize that with AEW right now, the roster is so overbloated. It is so over. It like there's just way too many people, ladies and gentlemen, that he realizes he's not going to get that much TV time. So I think he's going to be smart, and he's going to be the speed champion. Natalya, I think, criminally underutilized. I think she's one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time, but unfortunately, she's never gotten a good push whatsoever. So, like, she's essentially like the Dolph Ziggler of like the women's division, where like she's a phenomenal performer. She's great at putting people over, but she's cursed with being a good worker. So it sucks. It sucks. And Gable, he's too hot right now to go anywhere else. I'm sorry. His stuff with Otis is great right now. His stuff with Sammy. It's awesome that they're actually letting Gable be Gable, because honestly, I've always seen him as a star. And I thought years ago that Chad Gable was going to be released like with that Shorty G gimmick that he had, and I thought that was the death knell for him. But thankfully he stuck it out, and you see that he's prospering right now under the Triple H regime. All right, so Natalya will move on and be a full-time trainer of the women when she's done in the ring. I agree 1,000%. I think Natalya would be in the same vein as like a Dustin Rhodes when it comes to like a trainer. That or like a Booker T. She will be at the top of her class, so to speak. I think Natalya will be the premier trainer for all females in the entire industry. So I mean, she can make a killing doing that. And just imagine the knowledge that woman has. I mean, she, like from my understanding, she is the longest tenured female in the history of the WWE. All right, so here we go. Gable should have been Kurt's kid. Nobody looks more like Kurt, but nope. Let's make Jason Jordan's Kurt's kid.
I agree.
Oh my God, that's great. Wait. Hold on. I might get flagged for this, but I don't care. I'm gonna hold on, guys. But I hope everybody's, once again, you guys are having a phenomenal night. Hold on. This is all done in good humor, ladies and gentlemen, so you can get over yourself if you are extremely angry and sensitive over shit like this. Here we go.
Loving my wife, but then my black son, now each day my heart is getting bigger. Don't even remember sleeping with that lady, but I did. My black son, he's coming to stay. My black son, he's making each day the best that he can.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I mean, the thing is that like with Kurt Angle, he's like Dusty. He loves, baby, it's a joke. Darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, ladies and gentlemen. Who knew? Who knew? But it's all right, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, and if you get offended by like a Family Guy skit, then like there's something wrong with you. Seriously,
I'm not offended. I just can't believe you put that on the air.
All right, it's all good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. Daniel said that overly sensitive, then they must not believe in Joe Hendry. If you don't believe in Joe Hendry, you got to get your head checked, because you know what? He's such an inspiration, and he's one of the main reasons why that I actually watch TNA wrestling now. You talk about somebody that's over like Rover, and someone that was actually on the charts. That is so cool. Like, you talk about the power of the wrestling fans. Look at the recent stories with Joe Hendry with this song. And actually the wrestling fans helped him get into the top 5 on the UK charts. How crazy is that? All right, ladies and gentlemen. So then the show starts right after like the Street Profits and the Bloodline show up. We have the commentary team was with Corey Graves and Wade Barrett as usual for SmackDown. And we have a video package recapping the King and Queen of the Ring PLE from last Saturday. And the Queen, baby, she shows up on the screen looking vivacious as ever. God. Nia, baby.
Oh, God.
Nia. Nia, she can annihilate me anytime. Anyways, I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, Nia Jax, she has her Queen of the Ring celebration. People look up to Joe Hendry like Taz looks up to Hornswoggle. Amen, brother. And by the way, Taz is the GOAT. I just want to let everybody know this right now. All right, so we had Nick Aldis. He was in the ring with the red carpet out, exactly, showing the Queen the respect she deserves. You know, Nick Aldis, he introduced the Queen of the Ring, winner Nia Jax. Aldis congratulated Jax. She put the Queen's crown on her head while Aldis left. The fans chanted, "You suck at Jax." Clearly, the fans don't know royalty when they see it, okay? Disrespectful sons of bitches. Anyways, and Queen Jax said that it's a fact that she is your Queen of the Ring. Jax said that as your queen, she gets a WWE Women's title match at SummerSlam, and Jax called out Bayley to the ring. And you know what? Bayley needs to bow down to the crown, ladies and gentlemen. Bayley walked out down the aisle on her way to the ring as a WWE Women's Champion, but she was attacked from behind by Piper Niven. That dewdrop, baby, she attacked Bayley. And you talk about like a dewdrop and Nia Jax sandwich. Yummy. I just need to reinforce the bed. Anyways.
Oh my God. Just reinforce the bed?
I do. Okay. So, but she was attacked by behind by Piper Niven, who had Chelsea Green with her. Niven threw Bayley into the barricade. They went into the ring where Niven hit a cross body block splash on Bayley. Chelsea Green told Jax that she wouldn't have to worry about facing Bayley because by that time SummerSlam rolls around, Jax will have to face Piper Niven. Jax then said she didn't care who the champion was because she was going to annihilate her regardless. Get it, guys? That's a play on her finishing move, the Annihilator. Get it? It's part of her gimmick.
We get it.
Get it? Okay. Get it? Okay. Queen Jax left with her crown on. left with the crown on her head. You damn right. And I wonder whenever Nia comes home later on tonight if she would wear the crown with me. I'm just
saying.
saying.
You to take her to the buffet first.
Yeah. The buffet.
Shut down the Golden Corral buffet.
I got you. Yeah, that's true. Brother John, the fellow co-owner of the Retro Wrestling Revival and one of like my best friends, he's saying that I'm here to see Taz put Nia in the Taz mission. All right, I got you. All right, good day from all greetings from Brisbane, Queens, Australia. What's up, Lawrence, brother? I love you to death, and I hope that you're doing all right, my friend. And like I said, to all the wrestling fans out there that have something that you can put out there and you can promote, let me know. I will gladly share your groups. I will gladly share whatever podcast that you have, whatever you want to share. This is a community, ladies and gentlemen. We are in this together. Just like iron sharpens iron, we sharpen each other. All right, and okay, and John says that I am here to see Taz put Nia in the Taz mission. Okay, come on, dude. Come on. All right, the floor is always good, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, how you doing? We got the tongue, the kitty cat, and we got the OK signal. I love that, my friend. All right, here we go. And then the next segment is that we have the SmackDown GM Nick Aldis was backstage in his office following the QR code that was appearing on screen, which of course is leading to the eventual reveal of the return of Uncle Howdy. This is the thing, guys. I'm excited to see the return of Uncle Howdy, but I think they just need to hurry this shit along and they need to reveal him already. But it is what it is. Yep. And Mr. AJ Styles was there in a suit. Styles said that he thought about what Aldis said last week, and Styles said that he wants some time to address his future. Styles said that it would be hard enough to do it once, so he just wants to do it in the ring tonight. Aldis said he's got his time later in the show. You wonder what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so the next segment we have Mr. Tommaso Ciampa. He entered single. He has a match, and he has Mr. Johnny Gargano by his side. Like, with all due respect, I don't get it with the whole Gargano and, like, the Tommaso Ciampa ripping off DX. I think that they should just go back to their regular gimmicks because, honestly, they were badass down in the gold brand. But now, like, they've been up on, like, the main roster. I'm just not that big of a fan, but it is what it is. So, then they show a segment stating that this Monday on Raw, Liv Morgan celebrates as the Women's World Champion while Damian Priest faces Rey Mysterio. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest this Monday. And then we switch to Bayley, who was shown in the trainer's room. Naomi walked up to her asking as if she was all right to fight tonight, and the trainer said she was fine. And you know what? I think that hold on. Okay. Yes. Naomi walked up to her asking if she was all right to fight tonight, and a trainer said that she was fine. So Bayley said she's in. Naomi said she'll talk to GM Aldis about a match. And now we go back to the Tommaso Ciampa versus Austin Theory with Grayson Waller. And let's just be blunt here, guys. It wasn't really that notable of a match. And Tommaso Ciampa wins with the roll up of death. So it is what it is. Anyways, winner by pinfall, Mr. Tommaso Ciampa. Okay, so like the next segment is they showed the SmackDown GM office again as Blair Davenport spoke to GM Nick Aldis. Naomi walked in asking for a match. Davenport didn't like being interrupted and said Naomi would know who she is. Aldis gave Naomi the tag team match. LA Knight, yeah, let me talk to you. Mr. LA Knight walked in as Naomi left. Knight wondered if AJ Styles was really retiring, because he smelled a rat. He's like, you know what? I think there's something up here, Mr. Aldis. I think you need to look more into it. I think you need to open up your eyes and not be like Mr. Magoo. Just saying. All right, here we go. Mr. Laurent said, I'm trying to help out Mikey Messier on Cameo. Check out his Cameo profile. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, please check out Mr. Mikey Messier on Cameo, and which if you want to help him out, and he also runs the Foreign Object Wrestling group on Facebook, which the Retro Wrestling Revival is a part of that, and a lot of excellent content, a lot of great people on that page. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Foreign Object Wrestling group, and also check out and like, share, and subscribe to the Lazarus Pro Wrestling fan group as per usual. You damn right. That's right, baby. That's right, daddy. All right. And awesome content as well. So, and then there was a video package that aired about Cody Rhodes beating Logan Paul at the King of the Ring. And LA Knight was interviewed backstage by Caleb Braxton about what was discussed. Knight said that Aldis told him that Logan Paul isn't here this week. Knight addressed the camera telling Logan that he wants that United States Championship. Yeah, Mr. Carmelo Hayes, you know Melo is money and Melo never misses. He interrupted saying Knight does all this talking and without saying anything. Melo got Knight and Paul confused briefly. LA mocked him for it, and LA reminded us that he is him. That's right. And the next match, which is a throwaway match, of course, because let's just be honest, the names, you know who's going to win. You had Andrade versus Apollo Crews, and Andrade won. Honestly, I don't care. So, which after the match, Legado del Fantasma, Santos, Escobar, Electra Lopez, and Berto were there by the entrance area. Angel wanted Andrade to talk to Escobar, but Andrade kept on walking to the back. Angel told Escobar he's got this and left to the back. Bottom line with Andrade, I'm glad he's back. I think he's extremely talented, but I think they don't know what to do with him. I think he's lost in the shuffle, and I think he's suffering from the same issue that he had in AEW, and that being the roster is so bloated, and like there's so much talent that it's like, what do you do? I mean, what do you do with it? And unfortunately, I think I hate to say it, but I think Andrade, for as talented as he is, he's gonna be lost in the shuffle, and I think he's mainly there because he's Charlotte Flair's husband. I hate saying that, but there you go. Not saying he can't be like a future world champion, not saying that he can't win the U.S. title again, and not saying that he can't do great things, but unfortunately, there's so much talent right now that it's hard to see him breaking through. Not saying he can't, but it's hard to see it. Here we go. Mr. Jonathan Wanglet said that Andrade couldn't get over even if he passed out $100 bills to the crowd. I agree 1,000%, brother. He's a Mr. Charlotte Flair. All right, so they showed highlights of Randy Orton and Kevin Owens having issues with the bloodline. They said Orton was having his left knee evaluated. Ooh, what's going on with the injury with Randy Orton? Solo Sikoa was shown talking to Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa about their match. Paul Heyman walked up to Solo. Heyman said that he has done a lot of thinking about how he can better serve Solo while he's in charge. Heyman spoke about how with Roman Reigns in charge, there was a lot of counsel from the wise man. The fans were chanting, "We want Roman." Heyman said that he sees random acts of violence, but he doesn't see strategy at all. Heyman said that when Roman Reigns comes back, they need to have Cody Rhodes in check. Solo said that we have Cody in check, and he doesn't even know it. Heyman asked, "Who is we?" And Solo didn't answer because Kevin Owens entered the arena. Solo told Paul to fix this. I have this prediction, and I think it's going to come true. You know the saying, you don't know what you got until it's gone? Roman Reigns is the definition of that. everybody was so fed up with his title reign. Everybody was like, you know what? Let's get rid of Roman. Let's get the belt off him. I can't stand it. But you know what? Now he's gone. It's starting to sink in how amazing he truly was and how good he was. And literally, it was a thing where people are like, holy crap, Roman is a generational talent. He's a once in a lifetime type of athlete and performer. We want him back. Mark my words. Roman Reigns, whenever he comes back, will have one of the biggest babyface pops of all time. Roman will go down as one of the biggest baby faces of all time. He's going to be similar to like a Stone Cold Steve Austin, where he can do bad things and people will still cheer for him. He's going to be that over where there's no babyface or heel designation anymore. And you know you're a star when you're at that point. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. He needs to turn heel again, and Andrade has had his big face return to the WWE. He needs to turn on the LWO and start a rival cartel faction. That's not a bad idea, actually. I would love to see that. And the thing that WWE, they could do something with Andrade, like in Alberto Del Rio, where Del Rio failed both as a character and as a human. The WWE might have a chance to do something like that with Andrade. You know what? Like I said, like with Andrade, extremely talented, but I don't see him getting over. But I want him to get over. But it's a matter of the way that they book him. All right, so next up, we're hearing from Kevin Owens. By the way, guys, I'm getting my analysis from the website. It is tjrwrestling.net. Just to give like the proper credit to where I'm getting this analysis from. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't think that I'm not going to give the credit of where it's due. All right, so we're hearing from Kevin Owens, and Mr. Kevin Owens said that last week he made his return to SmackDown, and he went all the way to Saudi Arabia to do it. Owens said he wanted to make sure he had Randy Orton's back. Owens said that for the last few years, Orton has had his back, and he didn't want Solo and his crew to become King of the Ring. Owens said that Randy isn't King of the Ring, but we all saw what happened. He didn't really lose. Owens said that Orton isn't here, but he knows Solo and his crew is there. So Owens figured he would be there too. Paul Heyman made his entrance with the fans doing part of his introduction. Heyman said that he serves as the wise man to Roman Reigns and now to Solo Sikoa. Roman got into the ring with Owens. The fans were chanting, "We want Roman again." And Heyman said that he doesn't think that there's a person in the arena who wants Roman here more than he does. Uh-oh. Dissension, ladies and gentlemen. I sense dissension. A potential civil war within the bloodline. And I agree the way that they book Andrade, hopefully WWE will give him better stuff to work with. I agree 1,000%, my friend. And Heyman said that Owens keeps calling out Solo's name, and that anything that Owens went through with Roman Reigns is because how much Reigns admired and acknowledged Owen as a true threat to his championship. Heyman said that Solo is recruiting criminals into the bloodline. Heyman claimed he didn't want these people representing the bloodline. Heyman called them bloodthirsty thugs looking for an excuse to take Owens out. Heyman said that's bad for WWE while saying that he likes Owens in the WWE. And the fans love Owens in WWE. Heyman said that if you keep calling out Solo, then they'll do something really bad about it. Heyman said that he's asking, pleading, and begging Owens to back off the bloodline, please. The fans booed that. I don't blame the fans for booing that. And Owens asked, if he was really trying to help him. Owens mentioned the last few years of feuding with the Bloodline. Owens said that he knows this is all Heyman pulling the strings. Owens said that he went from Brock to Roman and now Solo in his next one to keep Paul relevant. Essentially, he's insinuating, Paul, I know you're a slimy guy. I know you're full of shit, and I know you're a parasite that goes from person to person to person just to keep yourself relevant. So yeah, I could see where he's coming from. So John, John, Mr. Lawrence said, so Andrade couldn't even sell himself even on the sidewalk. Oh, that's messed up. Okay, here we go. Who has more personality, Solo or Taz? I would just say Taz, without a doubt. Yes, Taz, definitely. All right, so like essentially, this goes on and on. Solo Sikoa, he walks out to the ring with Mr. Tama and Mr. Tonga, and that's when the Street Profits showed up and stood beside Owens, and that led to the six guys brawling. Owens and Solo went fighting into the crowd while the Street Profits and the Tonga boys, they got into the fight. The Profits cleared the ring. Dawkins hit a running somersault onto both of the Tonga boys right onto the floor, and that tag team match is next. How predictable. So the Bloodline won. Okay, guys, let's just be honest here. Like the Street Profits, they haven't been relevant in almost 2 years. So I wouldn't expect them to even beat anybody like that's high profile, like the Bloodline. So it is what it is. We had the commercial break, then we had Mitchin. I don't care. She's part of the OC. I don't care. She's very forgettable. Anyways, then we have Chelsea Green, Mrs. Piper Niven, and Bailey versus Bailey and Naomi. And if you expect Bailey to lose right now, like you are out of your mind. And you know what? I am out of my mind because I was wrong. Chelsea and Piper Niven won. Wow. Okay. That surprised the hell out of me. Then we're talking about the lineup for SmackDown next week. We have Jade Cargill versus India Hartwell, Johnny Gargano versus Austin Theory, Apollo Crews versus Angel, and Solo Sikoa anoints Tonga Loa. Yay. I'm going to have to watch this next week, ladies and gentlemen. I love you guys, so that's why I'm going to do it. So, we're going to hear from AJ Styles, and let's just be honest here. It is your typical retirement speech saying, thank you, fans. I started out being nothing. I busted my ass. You guys made me something. I got to go home to my wife and my kids, spend more time with them. They've grown up. I miss birthdays. I miss holidays. I missed vasectomies. I missed all kinds of stuff. Then you have Cody walk down to the ring and he's like, I love you, man. And then you got Cody that gets sucked in like a virus. And it's like, boom, Styles is like, you piece of shit. Boom, smacks him, beats the shit out of him. And then the show ends. Okay, the fact is that we got Styles versus Cody at the Clash of the Castle. I'm going to be blunt with you guys. This Cody run so far with the title, it has fallen flat to me. I would say the chase for the belt has been way more exciting than the actual run with the belt. So yeah, so it is what it is. I don't think there's that many opponents that are believable to beat Cody right now. So like they're going back to the well. Seeing Styles versus Cody again, will they have a phenomenal match? Without a shadow of a doubt, but it's like you're beating a dead horse. I would like to see Randy versus Cody. I'm just saying, guys. I think Randy versus Cody, that's where like the money's at. I would like to see frickin' Brock come back and face Cody again. Mr. Kevin Owens facing Cody. Those are believable challengers for him. But the fact is that just with Cody, he's literally ran through everybody with a few exceptions. So he's having the same issues that Roman has. Who is a believable challenger? So it's bittersweet, guys, seeing this run, because it's like, I'm so happy that you got there, Roman. Not Roman.
Cody.
I'm sorry, guys, Cody. But it's like, Cody, now that you're there, it's like, it is what it is. All right, here we go. He's like, Mr. Lawrence said that the chase for the belt is usually more exciting than the run with the belt. I agree 1,000%. And love my legacy feud idea between Randy and Cody. Oh, yeah, like without a doubt. I think that is money right there. There's history written all over that. And you can have the student versus the teacher, the mentor versus the student saying, hey, you never gave me credit for helping you, like with bringing you up. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have been launched like you did. I mean, just so many stories that they could tell with that. I think, honestly, Randy versus Cody, that's one of the best ways that they could go. And hopefully we could potentially see something like that at SummerSlam, but I could see The Rock versus Cody at SummerSlam. So that's my prediction. That's if The Rock actually is not shooting a movie at the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my SmackDown analysis. I would have to. So basically, me and John, with our Monday night series that we do with like the Monday Night Wars, we do thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs in the middle. I'm going to give this SmackDown a thumbs down, because quite frankly, there wasn't really anything to write home about. It was an average episode at best, and it was extremely predictable. You guys might have liked it, but for me, it was blah. So, all right. So, we're going to like our three main stories before we go to the NXT watch along, ladies and gentlemen. So, story number one, and I get my stories from No Key. This week, it's from NoDQ.com, ladies and gentlemen. And this story is that there's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes at TNA Wrestling. Dave Meltzer of F4W Online noted how there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes in TNA Wrestling, and there's news that just started to break. Meltzer mentioned that Robert Evans, who is a key member of the creative team, resigned, and there have had other people being let go. Meltzer also brought up how TNA has nothing scheduled past the August 2nd or 3rd tapings in Tampa, Florida. The TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace will challenge Miss Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's title at Battleground on June 9th. And the WWE/TNA relationship is expected to continue past Battleground. And Meltzer claimed that the timing of everything with the issues with TNA makes it very interesting. And you know what? That is interesting, because you have these issues with TNA supposedly, and then you have the relationship with the WWE. Is the WWE throwing them like a what's it called? Are they throwing them like a lifesaver, saying, "Here you go, let's do this, so like we can help you guys"? Or is there the potential of the WWE buying out TNA? I'm just speculating, guys. I don't know. I'm just like Dave Meltzer, which I'm a fan. He just happens to make a lot more money doing it. I'm speculating here, ladies and gentlemen. If there's truly issues within TNA Wrestling and they've developed this relationship with the WWE, I think that is that it's either a similarity between WWE and when they worked with ECW, or the WWE, they're in the process of perhaps buying the company. And that would be exciting because that could be potentially a developmental brand for WWE. Just saying, guys. And I'm throwing that out there. All right. I think either AJ with his OCs or Randy should beat Cody for the belt, and Cody chasing for it. That's not a bad idea at all. I love that, Lawrence. And I might share stuff from NoDQ.com, news and rumors. Followed them a fair bit back in the day. And I share stuff from Ring the Damn Bell, Wrestling Inc., Sports Kita, Wrestle Talk, and of course the Aussie one, pwdownunder.com, which I've written stuff for. I would definitely, the one like with PW Down Under, I would definitely check out. Like the rest of those I do like. All right, here we go. Now that is an idea. TNA Wrestling becoming the WWE brand, just like the WWE ECW brand. Yeah, I think honestly, you talk about, especially financially speaking, TNA Wrestling, those men and women, they would be financially set. They wouldn't have to worry from like week to week, like, hey, what's going to happen? Because ultimately, from like my understanding, whenever Scott D'Amore left, it was because Scott D'Amore requested more money for the company to make improvements when it comes to talent and like the quality of the show. So if that's one of the cases, then I wouldn't be surprised if they're being like a cheap ass and just saying, hey, and like they're just being cheap, saying, hey, okay, we're going to cut more talent, we're going to cut more things, and eventually the WWE's like, hey, do you want us to help you out? So like guys, like that's a very interesting thing right there. Let's see where it goes. And the next story is from NoDQ.com as well. And it's an update on Jeff Hardy's status with AEW, which is amidst the injury reports with the contract reports. Jeff Hardy has not wrestled since he was injured by Sammy Guevara on the February 14th, 2024 edition of Rampage. And there has also been reports about his contract expiring during his podcast. Matt Hardy, he commented on his brother Jeff's status within the WWE, and Matt Hardy is quoted as saying that, he's been cleared. He's just sitting at home waiting on the call, which, unlike me, he's not someone who really gets out and makes things happen. He just kind of waits on someone to call him. He sits at home just waiting on that phone call, jumping on the trampoline, up and down with the dumbbells. But yeah, he's got to he has until mid-June or so, and then his deal is up. So I guess we'll see if he ends up re-signing or not re-signing. He's very happy to be home, but I do know that what's important for him is to finish up his career and run on a high note. I know that it's something that he wants to do, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm very happy with my run in TNA and how I've been utilized. I have no complaints about it, and they've been a joy to work with thus far. All right. Once Jeff Hardy's contract is up, he's not going to re-sign. That's my prediction. He's either going to go back to the WWE or he's going to go to TNA. My prediction is TNA, and he's going to be back with his brother Matt. Not only will they utilize him right, will he be like a main eventer, but like his schedule will be lighter. So not only will he have more freedom when it comes to his character and when it comes to the creative, but he'll have a lighter schedule. He'll get paid decently, and he'll be able to work with his brother. So like with TNA Wrestling, it's a no-brainer. If it's a short-term deal like with TNA, I could see the Hardy Boys returning and having one last run within the WWE. So let's see what happens there. But I honestly hope for the best for Jeff Hardy, and I hope ultimately he's sober, he's happy, and he's in a good place. That's my thing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm grateful for what Jeff has done for the business. I'm grateful that he's sacrificed like he has for us to put smiles on our faces, but ultimately we hope that he's in a good place. He's happy, he's sober, and he's doing right by his family. That's all we can ask for. All right. Here we go. Heard rumors that Scott D'Amore may be rebooting the old Maple Leaf Wrestling name as a promotion. That would be amazing. Scott D'Amore is an asset no matter where he goes. A phenomenal mind for the business. The fact that TNA Wrestling, they got rid of him, was a massive mistake. All right. Maple Leaf Wrestling had links with the Tunney family. Jack Tunney. Oh, the famous President Jack Tunney. That son of a bitch. No, I'm kidding. Jack Tunney was the longtime wrestling character in the WWF as their figurehead. Benny Scala, he does a great job at Pro Wrestling Stories. Also with his podcast, he does with Dan Sebastiano, Dan and Benny in the Ring. I will definitely check that out. All right, guys. And we have one last story, baby. And we're going to do our watch along. So, we're going to have some fun. And this one is from WrestleZone.com, guys. And this makes me smile. It really does. Because I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for this man. All right, this is from WrestleZone.com. Missy Hyatt says she dated Jim Ross for a couple of years. He rocked my world. Missy Hyatt has claimed that she was in a relationship with Jim Ross. In the news that nobody expected or asked for, Missy Hyatt revealed that the recent details of her relationship with Ross. Missy Hyatt hasn't been regularly featured in a major wrestling federation since ECW in 1996. Although she did wrestle a match in TNA Wrestling in 2021 with Brian Myers. However, it seems that the former valet kept busy during that period by one of the greatest commentators of all time. Missy Hyatt recently appeared on the Rene Dupree's Cafe de Rene podcast, by the way. Great podcast, check it out. And was asked about JR. The WCW and the WWE legend spoke about how she dated Jim Ross for a couple years following the death of his wife in 2017. She also revealed that I rocked his world and he's rocked my world, which is something that I could have gone my entire life not knowing very happily. Honestly, me and Jim dated for a few years, for about 2 years. Then his wife, right after his wife passed. We dated for about 2 years, so yeah. He rocked my world. He doesn't need nothing. Jim needs nothing.
Wow, okay.
So, just saying, guys, that's just like a random piece of news that I thought I would never hear. I love Jim Ross, the greatest announcer of all time, but hearing that he's rocking somebody's world like that, that's really cool. You go get it, Jim. You get it in, my friend, okay? The fact is that,
Literally
man,
get it in.
Literally get it in. There you go. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's the third of our stories tonight. We're getting ready to start the watch along to NXT, ladies and gentlemen. And this is from June 20th, 2012. And this was right after Florida Championship Wrestling shut their doors. And they evolved into the NXT brand that we know today. for the first few years of the existence of the NXT brand, they were essentially a freaking a game show. Let's just be honest, guys. Where they would have wrestling matches, but then they would have challenges and just a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't a fan of that version of the NXT brand. But it evolved. But that version evolved from ECW. So if it wasn't for the return of ECW, you wouldn't have the NXT brand. So, like, I'm just saying, guys, you can have the positives from the negatives, and that's a prime example of that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Rewind 89. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing all right, my friend. All right. So Lawrence said that Missy Hyatt has had a relationship with everyone but me. You sure? You sure about that, Lawrence? You sure that you weren't drunk and woke up next to Missy Hyatt? Because, man, beer goggles do wonders. Anyways. Rewind said that they worked together in World Championship Wrestling, which I believe in the early 1990s, and you would be 100% correct. All right. So Lawrence said that I got a joke in reference to Missy Hyatt. What's the difference between a bitch and a whore? Which a whore will have sex with anything, and a bitch will have sex with anything but you. Oh, I like it. I like it. Taz is the greatest color commentator. JR is the greatest play-by-play. Yes, ECW and Taz. Taz is the GOAT. That is right, my friend. And if you were to go to our Facebook page, Mr. Rewind, we did make a post about Taz being the GOAT. So yeah, just letting you know. You know what? Once again, we give credit here on the Retro Wrestling Revival. Mr. Daniel, one of our biggest fans, and most importantly, one of our brothers, he made a post that he gave us permission to post about Taz being the GOAT. So, like, I'm just saying, make sure to check that out. All right, so we are going to our third part of the show, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, for the individuals that have participated, thank you. For the ones that are going to watch it live, thank you. The ones that are going to watch it later, thank you. Me and John and Richie, we are grateful to every single person that participates in the process, if you will. All right, here we go. NXT 2.0 was basically a reboot of the WWF New Generation In Your House era campaign. I agree 1,000%. I was not a fan of it, but everybody had. But everybody has their preferences. I was a fan of the NXT brand whenever Mr. Karrion Kross was in it. And then they switched it to the 2.0, but it is what it is. All right. Sorry, I don't have Facebook. Okay. And thanks, brother. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So we're going to go to the NXT on Peacock. Let me get shit. Hold on. Guys, please forgive me. I'm not the most tech savvy. All right, hold on. Okay, NXT. Not the best of NXT. Damn it. Hold on. There's a lot of NXT stuff on here, guys. All right. So, season 6. All right. So, season 6, episode 1 from June 20th, 2012, ladies and gentlemen. Season 6, episode 1. That's the beginning of the new era of NXT that had a bunch of stars that are the head of the company now. All right, here we go. I love the Karrion Kross, the Undisputed Era, and Adam Cole, baby, era in NXT. I agree 1,000%. Absolutely badass era. And it's unfortunate that it turned into the 2.0. The modern era is okay. It's better than the 2.0 era, but just, yeah. I loved the COVID era brand. As crazy as that sounds, I think the NXT brand was by far the best brand within the WWE during the COVID era. And that's because of Cross. That's because of Adam Cole. That's because of Damian Priest, the Undisputed Era. I could go on and on. Those are the guys that held that brand together. Also enjoyed the NXT UK. Oh, dude, you talk about freaking Gunther. You talk about Pete Dunne. You talk about, I mean, just so many other great athletes from the UK brand. Oh, yeah, like that out, guys. Just think, Gunther started out in the NXT UK brand when he signed with the WWE. All right, guys. So get your Peacock out. Season 6, episode 1 of NXT, as voted on by you guys from the poll this week. This is the B-Show Rodeo, ladies and gentlemen. And, like, we're going to have some fun. We're going to watch this. So, like, make sure, once again, you get your Peacock out. And we're going to season 6, episode 1 of WWE NXT from June 20th, 2012. I'm going to count it down from 10. 10 win again, and that way you guys got time to pull out your cock. The Peacock, that is. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do this, son. All right, guys, here we go. Ah, man. I missed this intro. It has Shawn Michaels, Sheamus, Triple H, The Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold, Rey Mysterio, Mark Henry, Kane, The Undertaker. Man, the end is yes. The champ is here. Here we go. This is talking about a new generation starting out, and this is a very exciting time within the NXT brand, because this is the thing, guys. You talk about the takeover pay-per-views. They were absolutely renowned when it came to, like, the quality of the wrestling. All right, Mr. Rewind said that I have to work tomorrow, so I just want to say hi before I go to bed. For me to have a good weekend, brother. Same to you, Rewind, man. And by the way, man, thank you for your support, and you are always welcome here on the Retro Wrestling Revival. And like I said, man, this is for fans, by fans. And let's have fun, let's have conversations, and let's share our passion for pro wrestling. So thank you, Rewind, for joining us. All right. So this is their time, ladies and gentlemen. The future of wrestling is right in front of us, guys. And it's going to be fascinating just to go down memory lane. And this was 12 years ago. And it's crazy to think how much the business has evolved since this time. So, like, it's going to be fascinating to watch, guys. So, but like I said, which I put out a poll, this was your choice this week. So, here we go. Oh, wow. We have EC3. We have Johnny Curtis, Big E, Bo Dallas, Xavier Woods, Paige, Bray Wyatt. Damn. There's a lot of Seth Rollins, Corey Graves. Wow, there's a lot. You talk about memories. All right, so like we got William Regal doing a voiceover saying "Welcome to the new version of NXT." All right, Jim Ross, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of the devil, speaking of the man the ladies' man, Mr. Jim Ross. He's on our screens right now. Hold on, here we go. The business has evolved or devolved since back in the glory days. I believe that the business has evolved in many, many ways with, like, a positive manner, but I think when it comes to actual storytelling, like within the ring, and the importance of storylines and characters, I think it's devolved tremendously. I believe it's a sad reflection, which I believe that it's a sad reflection, because this is the thing, guys. Once again, with AEW, I'm not trying to shit on the company, but this is the truth. You could have some of the best talent in the world, but if you don't use them, or you put them in 45 million cold matches without a story to go with their characters, no one's going to give a shit. Stories and characters are everything, ladies and gentlemen. That's what hooks the audience in. And that's what the modern era is sorely lacking, because they think that athleticism should be more important than your character. And it's kind of like, it does not put asses in seats. You see the modern era with the Triple H era. There's a good balance between the character stories and the athleticism. And Mr. Triple H sees the importance of the characters, and that's why they're so successful. All right. Brother Martin, I hope you've enjoyed my booking tonight. The man with 3 H's. Well, I did the review earlier, The Man with 3 H's, and I gave the show a thumbs, I think a thumbs down or a thumbs in the middle, because honestly, I wasn't a fan of the show tonight. The show wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. But it is what it is, which everybody has their preferences. Right now, we have a profile of Mr. Bo Dallas. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas. He was, I think, either the second or third NXT champion. And he's a former Raw Tag Team champion with Michael McGillicuddy, or freaking Curtis Axel, sorry, with the B team. Here we go. I understand, and I'll try and pull something similar to Lib and Dom on SmackDown next week to spice things up. All right, brother. I can't wait to see that. Here we go. All right, so Mr. Lawrence says that if wrestling wants to be more like sports style, like with pure pure wrestling, it needs to be at least done right, like Japan back in the day, and where it made sense. I agree. Either you go all in or you don't go in at all. And like you can't really do like the tippy toe thing on it. So I agree. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we got the debut of Bo Dallas on the NXT brand. He's a former world champion in Florida Championship Wrestling. I believe he actually won the tag titles with his brother Bray in Florida Championship Wrestling. And he is fighting, I think is Victor from the Ascension. So this is before the Ascension became the Ascension. Speaking of the Ascension, man, like it's sad, man. Like that tag team absolutely dominated the NXT brand, but once they got called up, they did not translate well at all. The same goes for like the Vaudevillains. I thought the Vaudevillains were a phenomenal tag team, but unfortunately, they just they got buried, and it's sad because you see, especially within like the first few years of the NXT brand, you had like a bunch of call-ups that were extremely over down in like the gold brand, but once they got on like the main roster, Vince McMahon didn't know what to do with them, or he didn't care. So yeah, you made great comparisons between the current and old school wrestling. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, because we can find that happy balance when it comes to it. But it is what it is, guys. I feel like stories are everything, and you know, a 5-star classic doesn't mean shit if there's no psychology behind why they're fighting. And the thing is that, for example, I would put a match like The Rock versus Hulk Hogan up against a Kenny Omega match with Okada anytime and say that it's 1,000 times better. Because it's not about the moves. It's about what the moves mean. Just because you do flashy moves and you do 500 moves like within a match doesn't mean that you're doing a good job. That just means that you're very athletic. What's the meaning behind this? What's the story you're trying to tell? What is it with each individual movement that you're saying to your opponent, I dislike you, I can't stand you, I want to take you down and dominate you? That's the thing, guys. Psychology. So Bo Dallas, quick win, ladies and gentlemen. He beat Vincent or Vince or whatever they want to call him. Victor, that's what it. So there you go. He says that I think it sucks when the main brands bury talent and that we're very well booked on the feeder brands as they have the blueprint to book them right, like how they're booked on the feeder brands, yet they don't. I agree 1,000%. And then you have the ones that they show up and like they're booked 100% right, and they don't let them cook long enough. One of like the greatest examples is Cass and Enzo. They were over like $1 million on the Gold brand. They were over like $1 million on Raw. And unfortunately, they broke them up way too quickly before they could really get cooking. I'm just saying, guys, I believe they would be multi-time World Tag Team Champions by now. I believe they would still be massive merch sellers. I believe they would be one of the top tag teams in the world of wrestling at the moment. But right now, you got Big Cass. He is he's sitting under the learning tree with Chris Jericho. I think his new name is Redwood. And you have freaking Mr. Enzo. You got Mr. Enzo Amore, who got falsely accused of something, and it ruined his run in the WWE. And you talk about somebody that had charisma out of the ass. You talk about somebody that was one of the greatest talkers of the past decade, Enzo Amore. And it's a shame. Right now, they're showing a promo of Seth Rollins. You talk about a preview of things to come, one of the greatest of this era. You talk about just greatness in general and how each era has the 1A and like the 1B, okay? What I mean is, that's like Hogan's era. You had Hogan, then you had Macho. When it came to like the next era, you had Shawn Michaels, then you had Bret Hart, then you had The Rock, you had Stone Cold, you had John Cena and Randy Orton. And in this modern era, it is Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. All right, here we go. So I totally agree. Like they don't cook it up properly regarding building them up with some talent. I agree 1,000%. We got Damian Sandow. He's getting ready to debut. Ladies and gentlemen, you talk about one of the greatest misses in the history of the business, right there, Damian Sandow. Once again, it all goes back to characters. It all goes back to the fans being hooked. Damian had that it factor, but now he's working for the NWA, and it's just a shame, guys. Cesaro, they are advertising. He's me debuting on the next week's show. Damian Sandow, it just breaks my heart, ladies and gentlemen. Damian is so unbelievably good. I put Damian in the same breath as like a Mr. Kennedy. Just a huge miss for the company. And he should have been a world champion. Yes, I see, Lawrence. I love you, brother, because me and you, like we are on the same wavelength here. Mr. Kennedy, it absolutely just drives me nuts. Mr. Kennedy, the miss with him. Mr. Chris Karam, what's up, brother? I hope you're doing fantastic tonight. And the wrestling industry destroyed itself from within. Same Same as Cosa Nostra. Okay. Still would love to see The Rock versus Mr. Kennedy at WrestleMania. Oh man, that would be amazing. Okay, just imagine the promos between those two. Just imagine if you had LA Knight, Mr. Kennedy, The Miz, all in like the same ring, just going back and forth with promos. Just amazing. All legendary talkers. Okay, so like we got Damian Sandow. He is calling Jason Jordan a ignoramus, if you will. And what you got? Damian was on the main roster once before this. He was I forgot the name of the tag team, but he was Casey Idol or something like that, and he was being managed by Michelle McCool. I forgot the name of his character before then, but he was in like a tag team on SmackDown managed by Michelle McCool. And that did not work out at all. Oh, okay. So it was the Italian Mafia. I gotcha. Which I did not know that. Okay. I learned something new. All right. So Jason Jordan was going to face Damian Sandow. Mr. Damian Sandow said, "You know what? I'm good. You're not worth my time. So I'm leaving." All right. So we have the promo for the Ascension, the original Ascension, which actually did not have Victor in it at the time. We are the gateways to the future. Intriguing pro wrestling I cannot talk tonight, guys. I apologize. Intriguing comparison with pro wrestling and the I'm trying to pronounce this, guys. The Cosa Nostra. All right, so we have the Ascension Rises up next, ladies and gentlemen. The original version of the Ascension, the rising up, baby. The rising like the ratings. The Raw rebound, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see what we missed on Monday Night Raw back in this time. It is presented by WWEshop.com. Oh my God, John Laurinaitis. People power, ladies and gentlemen. Oh God. Okay. All right. So I believe this was at the No Way Out pay-per-view in 2012. And where you had the John Cena versus John Laurinaitis feud. And I believe Laurinaitis was using the Big Show as his lackey. And honestly, this people power era, I would rather not remember because it was absolutely terrible. We would love to have seen Al Pacino take over the WWE within an angle, acting it up like his Godfather Scott Priestles. That would have been amazing. Who the fuck are you? You coming in my you coming in my office, man? You know, you get the fuck out. I'm gonna make you swim with the fishes. That's awesome. The closest thing to Scarface that we got with like the World of Wrestling was Razor Ramon, of course. And like a fun fact, actually, I found out that Razor's theme music was based off a song from the Eagles. So like that's pretty cool. Speaking of music, Jim Johnston, absolute legend, the greatest wrestling composer of all time. And you damn sure can't say the same thing about modern wrestling themes. Def Rebel is the group that makes the most of the music now, and it's absolute garbage. So I would love the WWE should call up Jim Johnston pay him whatever he wants and have him make music again. Just saying, because music is a huge part of the character. So it gets the wrestling fan involved. And the thing is that Jim Johnston was so unbelievably good at making themes that within about 1 second of you hearing like a theme, you knew exactly who was coming out. It was that good. He had you hooked that quick. You know, you look at DX, you look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, like the Nation of Domination, like so many phenomenal themes that he made. You knew right away, boom, business is about to pick up. Scott Hall apparently based Razor Ramon off of Tony Montana, the character Al Pacino plays in Scarface. Yes, definitely. And I think that Scott Hall he did a phenomenal job of that. And speaking of Scott Hall, apparently Sting, the Crow version of Sting was initially the idea of Scott Hall. So you can thank Scott Hall for that. All right, so we have the Ascension. I actually like this version. It's like darker and it's more like gothic and it's kind of like a Batman-esque villain. I like it, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Did he literally just have a flashlight out and did he put it to his face? Connor and I forgot the other one. Brian and Cameron. Ryan and Cameron. Okay, whatever. Anyways, there we go. Their music just makes me want to go fight crime. Seriously. Here we go. Who are their opponents? Mike Dalton and CJ Parker, ladies and gentlemen. We got CJ Parker before the hippie gimmick. And for the people that don't know who CJ Parker is, he is Juice Robinson. Once CJ Parker left the WWE, he went to New Japan, and he reinvigorated his career, and now he works for AEW. He's part of the Bang Bang Gang or something like that. Scott Hall is probably like me, watches heaps of movies, shows, and he gets the ideas from them, which I could see the series Yellowstone being a WCCW Memphis wrestling product. Yeah, you know what? I did not think about that connection, but like that's not a bad idea. It would be cool for them to potentially bring back World Class Championship Wrestling within a modern manner. I wonder, speaking of that, because like the Von Erichs, like they're the most popular family and like the most wrestlers from that brand. I wonder if Mr. Kevin Von Erich would ever think about becoming a owner or like a showrunner again for like a wrestling group, because I'm sure Kevin has a bunch of knowledge of the business. So the Ascension, there's a flapjack. They pinned CJ Parker, the Ascension one. I get it. The majority of these matches, they're going to be squash matches just so like they can get like the main talent they are trying to push over. So there's Cameron from the UK. He flapjacked him and boom. I think that's Bram. Bram and yeah, damn it. I'm really bad with names. He's wrestling for the NWA now. All right, so we got the main event next, ladies and gentlemen. We got Tyson Kidd versus Michael McGillicuddy, which is better known as Curtis Axel, the son of Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. And you talk about historic families, okay? Tyson, he comes from the famous Hart family, and like right now, like they're doing a promo for the Wyatt family with Bray Wyatt. And it's crazy to look back and see Bray. And, you know, Bray's inspiration for this gimmick was Waylon Mercy. And you could tell, man. And you talk about him taking an idea and running with it and improving it greatly. Man, Bray was an absolute genius. Very few people were on his level. And it just breaks my heart every single time I see Bray on screen. But we keep his memory alive by watching these guys because Bray was a genius and a legend. All right, here we go. The people doing series like Yellowstone or the other production companies doing episodic TV should throw money at a episodic wrestling promotions. We would get some great wrestling to watch. Yeah, I mean, the last time that I saw something similar to what you're talking about was a Lucha Underground where they did it in seasons, and you legitimately had people die on that show, which was fascinating. Well, like within storyline, of course, but still. All right, so we have Johnny Curtis, which is Fandango, and we have EC3, like with long curly hair. With fascinating seeing these guys. And you talk about Fandango, man, he was absolutely over. All right, love the Waylon Mercy character based on Robert De Niro's Cape Fear. Bray didn't do too bad either. Oh yeah, man. Literally every single thing that Bray did, he gave 1,000% and he got over. But unfortunately, he was so ahead with his characters. He was so good and so above everybody else that unfortunately the writers, they couldn't write to Bray's level, and it's a damn shame. All right. You say that you love Lucha Underground. Oh, same here, man. Like, it's a shame that they went out of business like they did. There was like a lot of great talent that we discovered through Lucha Underground. I mean, we have Mr. Prince Puma, which is Ricochet. We have heck, Rey Mysterio went there. We have Mr. Karrion Kross. We have you had Ray Phoenix. I mean, just you had so many great talented stars that were in Lucha Underground. All right. Okay, so Fandango's telling EC3 to wash his hands, and he uses EC3's shirt to clean his hands. Why are they wasting a segment on that? It is what it is. Derek Bateman, that's what the EC3 name was. All right, so Yellowstone reminds me of WCCW meets the Attitude Era with a great episodic television storylines. I could see that. I could definitely see what you're talking about in that. Yeah, and for the individuals that have never seen Yellowstone, shame on you. It's a phenomenal show, extremely well written, very addictive. Like you just can't sit down and watch one show. All right, so like we got Michael McGillicuddy, aka Mr. Curtis Axel, aka the seed of Mr. Perfect, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? It's a shame. You talk about misses. You talk about people that definitely did not live up to their potential. Or is it the fact they didn't book them right? I don't know. It can be argued. We got Tyson Kidd. You talk about a absolutely magnificent technician, somebody that had their career cut short by a freak accident, Mr. Tyson Kidd. And you know what? Former World Tag Team Champion with Davey Boy Smith's son. And it's just a shame. He's married to Natalia, and which unfortunately his career came crushing down. I believe it was in 2015, a house show. No. Which it was a dark match with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe did a muscle buster, and he nearly paralyzed. He nearly paralyzed Tyson Kidd, and he broke his neck. He caused a severe spinal injury, and even Mr. Tyson, he said that it wasn't Samoa Joe's fault, that it was just a random thing that happened by accident. Yellowstone reminds me of a cocktail of WCCW, Memphis Wrestling, and the Attitude Era. Oh, man, Attitude, baby. That's what I'm talking about, if you will. All right, so Michael McGillicuddy with Tyson Kidd right now, like they're filling each other out like with headlocks right now. And it's fascinating to see how the crowd has evolved over the years when it comes to the Full Sail University. They went from Full Sail to now they are at the Performance Center, I believe. Hold on, really quick. Is the NXT brand still at Full Sail, or do they shoot at the Performance Center? There we go. When I got a cameo done by Medusa years ago, asking her about pro wrestling creative, she recommends shows like Sons of Anarchy, Yellowstone, saying that is what pro wrestling should be, with great storytelling. I agree 1,000%. Stories are everything, ladies and gentlemen. Stories and characters. That's what gets you invested. That's what gets you hooked into the product. Medusa is my favorite women's pro wrestler. Medusa is a barrier breaker. She's the one that broke the glass ceiling for a bunch of women. And Medusa, she was from a different. She wrestled in the wrong era, because you know what? If Medusa was younger and she was around now doing wrestling full time, she would fit in perfectly. But if it wasn't for what she did, you wouldn't have the modern era. So, I mean, Medusa, which was a Lunder Blaze, you got to give her flowers, man. You got to give her roses. Like, she was a barrier breaker for women. All right, so you got William Regal on the. He's one of the color commentators. A Roman knuckle lock between Mr. Tyson Kidd and McGillicuddy, and William Regal. I would have to say Regal and Dusty Rhodes are the two biggest reasons why the NXT brand was as successful as it is, because you talk about the huge influences that those two men they've had on like those men and women. I would have to say Dusty, William, Norman Smiley, Bill DeMott. I could go on and on, but I would say like the top two. You know what? And Shawn Michaels and Paul Levesque. I have to say those are the main reasons why the NXT brand has flourished like it has. All right. Love to see a Medusa versus a talent like Charlotte Flair, for example. Charlotte, she's my GOAT. I think Charlotte is the greatest female wrestler of all time. And like there's nobody in my opinion that even comes close, with the exception of somebody like a Rhea Ripley, a Trish Stratus, a Natalia, and I would say like a Thunder Rosa. But Becky's growing on me. But I have to say, yeah. Here we go. They got commercials on the network. Are you shitting me? No, I'm kidding. All right. There we go. There we go. Apparently, the Dusty Rhodes Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling promotion has been relaunched by Cody Rhodes. Really? I did not know that. That is really freaking cool. And that's another place for men and women to go work and for them to apply their craft. The more companies you have out there, the better, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? I'm all for it. And the thing is that who knows? You might have the next main eventer of WrestleMania, like the next big star, like the next Roman Reigns type of wrestler that comes out of that because they were given an opportunity by Cody Rhodes. You never know, guys. So I mean, you had someone like Dusty Rhodes who invested in Roman Reigns and the NXT brand, and boom, you see Roman. He's the biggest star in the world right now. All right, so like we got like a near fall, like a reverse neck breaker off of the middle rope. This show has been absolute garbage, but it is what it is. It ain't you guys' fault. That's what I love about doing the polls every single week. We're going to have different shows. So like next week, we might be watching the second show after this for the NXT. We might be watching the second episode of ECW. Like we might be watching Shotgun. Who knows? We might be watching Velocity, ladies and gentlemen. The choice is yours for the B-Show Rodeo every single week. Oh, boom. We are going to eventually go through these series. So like we're eventually going to do the NXT shows more. We're going to be doing the Velocity shows and all that, but the order in which we do them, you guys will decide. Cody runs it like Booker T with reality of wrestling, still having links with the WWE, but running their own promotions, giving people the opportunities, etc. with Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling. Brother, that is awesome because essentially those are extensions. Those are developmentals for the WWE, similar to Memphis, similar to Heartland Wrestling, similar to Deep South back in the day that they had it. Freaking OBW, just heck, even ECW. That was essentially a really high profile developmental for the WWE. And I know some people are not going to like me saying that, but this is the God honest truth, guys. Vince McMahon helped with funding ECW. Love it or hate it. And it's hilarious. You had so many people that hated Vince McMahon. They're like, fuck you, Vince McMahon. I can't stand you. ECW, diehard, hardcore wrestling. Well, and little did you realize Vince McMahon was one of those individuals that were helping fund that wrestling company that you enjoyed so much. Just saying. All right. This match has been absolutely horrendous, guys. I apologize. Nothing against these two athletes. It's just they really don't have chemistry. Oh, yeah. Lawrence said that I've heard that as well, that Vince McMahon helped run ECW with funding. Yes, that is true. And the thing is that also Paul Heyman was on the payroll for the WWE. He was considered an employee for the WWE. So a lot of people don't seem to understand all that. Because and it's just kind of like you have all these people, especially like modern fans, that are like, I hate WWE, I hate which I hate AEW, I hate this, I hate that. The fact is, guys, like what you like, but recognize that these men and women, the more these companies thrive, the more opportunities that are out there, the more more these men and women, they can apply their craft, become better, and like the more avenues they get to entertain you. So don't wish for like a company to go out of business, because I hear these dipshit WWE fans saying, you know, I can't wait for Tony Khan to go out of business. Why? Why do you wish that? I'm not a fan of Tony with his creative. I think it's horrendous, but I don't want him to go out of business. The same goes for the AEW fans. They're like, fuck WWE. It's like, okay, you sound like an idiot. Just like what you like. Just don't be a dick. There we go. They need a Sid to come in and powerbomb everyone in the matches that don't have chemistry. I agree 1,000%. Or do it ECW style with 911 and just do like the choke slams. This is absolutely horrendous, guys. I'm sorry. We got a few minutes left. We got about 4 minutes left on this. But for every single person that has joined me tonight, I say thank you. And for the ones that are going to watch me later, I say thank you. This is a representation of the Retro Wrestling Revival. We are for fans, by fans. We are here to celebrate our passion for pro wrestling. We're here to encourage and strengthen each other like iron sharpening iron. We strengthen each other. We're here to promote. We're here to have fun. And ladies and gentlemen, me, John, and Richie, we have so many great things that are coming down the pike. Okay, Thursday nights, there's the hold on. Tuesday nights, there's the live show with John and Richie. Thursday nights, there's the live show with me and John. Friday, there's the show with me. Saturdays and Sundays, you got the radio show on WDJYFM.com from 9 to 10 p.m. Flat out, the Retro Wrestling Revival. We're firing on all cylinders, baby, if you will. And it's all thanks to you guys. Oh, God. Oh, here we go. Oh. And if we 911 Chokeslam Fest and Pro Wrestling again would be awesome. Yes, that would. That's similar to whenever you would have somebody that is performing on stage, and they would have somebody like with the hook, and they like, get the hook. The guy sucks. The wrestling version of the hook should be 911 walking down and chokeslamming the shit out of somebody. Oreo frappe from McDonald's, ladies and gentlemen. That's actually pretty good. All right, so like this Tyson Kidd McGillicuddy match is absolutely horrendous. There's no story behind this. It's just, I'm not discounting the ability of these gentlemen. Just, they're not that great together. They're doing the dungeon lock. Uh-oh. All right, so Mr. Tyson Kidd, he makes McGillicuddy tap with the dungeon lock, which is essentially a sharpshooter-esque move with a chin lock, which was a fascinating move to watch. I've never seen that before, so I'd say like it's a highlight of the show. I'm gonna be honest. Once again, the Retro Wrestling Revival, we do thumbs up, thumbs down, or thumbs in the middle. I'm gonna do thumbs down. The show was extremely forgettable. They clearly had a long way to go when it came to finding their groove. And they did. I mean, you got to start somewhere. So it's similar to like Nitro. Like Nitro started out as, it was there, but it found its groove and it became must-see television. So, like I said, guys, I give it thumbs down. I wasn't a fan of it this week. But like I said, guys, we're gonna do a weekly polls next week. Hold on. Wednesday or Tuesday, I'm going to put up the poll again. You guys are going to let me know what you want to watch next week for like the B-Show Rodeo. From the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that has tuned in and that has supported this brand. Mr. Lawrence said that Kane also did a great job with his choke slam fest. Oh, man. Kane, phenomenal at choke slams, one of the greatest big men of all time. Now, when it comes to other aspects of his life, I'm not a fan of his, but it is what it is. I think when it comes to certain subjects, like the way the world, like the way like the world is ran, mainly America, I think he might have some CTE because some of his ideas are completely batshit crazy. But as in terms of a wrestler, legend. All right, here we go. So I feel that Kurt Hennig's son, he could have been used better within the WWE. His highlights were the Nexus and being a Heyman guy. Yeah, man, it's messed up. Like they dropped the Heyman guy gimmick way too soon, which I think Paul he could have done like a lot more with Mr. Curtis Axel. That and Cesaro, like they dropped like the Heyman guy thing with Cesaro like way too soon as well, which it's been a pleasure, Lawrence, brother. I agree, man. Like with you and with every single person like that joins the show, it has always been a pleasure. It is a privilege. And make sure that you check out all of our wonderful programming, ladies and gentlemen. And make sure to check out our brand, our sponsor. So go to epicshirts.ca and I'll put it on the screen here and put in, hold on, for 10% off. All right. So go to epicshirts.ca and put in RW Revival for 10% off your order. Not only will you be helping us out, but you'll be helping out a phenomenal company that has been a phenomenal supporter of us. And like I said, guys, we are like the little engine that could. So is this company right here. And like I said earlier, just like iron sharpening iron, we sharpen each other. Let's help each other out and let's support each other. And heck, I mean, go to the website, buy a couple shirts, help us out, help them out. You know, be supportive, ladies and gentlemen, if you will. We greatly value you guys. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have what we have. Bottom line, we are at over 23,000 followers right now. The goal at the beginning of this year was 10,000. You guys have exceeded that. You doubled it. And you might triple it by the end of the year because now the goal is 30,000. So, with that said, guys, make sure Tuesday nights you check out the live show with Richie and John right around 9 to 10 p.m. on Facebook. Thursday nights, you have the Monday night series with me and John. And that is right around 7:45 p.m. on Facebook. You got the Friday night show here. Clearly, the Passion for Pro Wrestling with Brother Martin every single Friday night at 10 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, go to wdjyfm.com for the Retro Wrestling Revival radio show. And guys, we're going to continue to post daily content. We're going to have we're going to have daily content. We're going to have like the promo of the day, the match of the day, the jobber of the day, the botch of the day. Just so much fun content. Like we're going to post on the page. And mind you, our goal is to become the biggest fan-made wrestling brand on Facebook. And I think we're headed that way. I want us to have the most eclectic page on Facebook. And I want you guys to, no matter what walk of life you come from, and no matter what you like within wrestling, I want us to have something for you. So, with that said, guys, thank you so much. Mr. Mikey Messier said, wow, my home has a living room that looks just like that one. Oh, that's pretty cool, man. These green screen features are amazing. But like with that said, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for your support. Next week, same time, same place. We're going to do like the Smackdown review. We're going to do 3 major stories within the world of pro wrestling. And we're going to do the B-Show Rodeo with the show of your choice. So, guys, yours truly, I have to go. I'm going to relax with the wife. I'm going to enjoy my weekend with the kids. We're going to go swimming tomorrow. Just a fun weekend ahead. And I hope that you guys have a phenomenal weekend as well. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. And thank you.